good evening, good evening. Welcome to BeoTalk number 345. Uh, I hope we look good. Let's see. We seem to be looking all right.
Yeah, it looks okay. It looks okay. We switched things around, I guess,
Yeah,
technologically.
because stupid Skype Microsoft nonsense. So,
Communists.
uh, well, or the ultimate capitalist. They're now charging for stuff that was free forever. So we switched software. So let's hope this is working all right. Let
Let's
us
see
know
if we're
about.
solid and stable.
Yeah, well, tell us mostly about if the audio quality is good. Because
I'm hoping it's unchanged.
yeah, me too. But it's the first time doing it. uh oh, good God, how do I? Oh yeah, uh
How do you screen share? The shillings? Do it.
yeah,
We've
uh
preset it, no?
uh.
Hi, it's our first time doing this. Literally. With this. Let's see if we can figure this out.
Uh,
But
uh,
345, that's the third podcast with consecutive numbers, right? The first one was 123, then it
yeah, I
was
think.
no, it was 234, and now it's 345. Next one's gonna be 456,
Well, I guess the first one
which
was
is at
one,
least
two, right?
or 12, yeah, I guess. And then the very first one was just one, and before that was zero. God, it's
uh,
audio quality is the same as always. That's good. So is it bad or good? That's up to y'all to decide.
let's
But
let's see. Yeah,
wicked.
you got.
Look at this professional cutting, man. It's awesome. Smooth as silk.
Well, I only did it once last week after the show with you.
I know. But it works. It works pretty good. So
But
there's skinny play for y'all.
yeah, go buy some stuff. Use the promo code for 10% off. And then there's the green
That one's
snake.
cool. The Year of the Dragon.
Yeah,
Or Year of the Snake, I guess.
I mean, go buy beautiful aluminium covers,
From Tegrino.
and here's the stuff is in the chat. At some point, I'll figure out how to like capture the chat so people can read back the chat and stuff. I guess you know
Why it
how.
doesn't work like that?
It used to, but I think the last few weeks somehow YouTube dropped them or something. So
Hmm.
anyway, it's weird. It's so yeah. Go buy some of these covers. They're excellent.
No
Uh,
word on the theater covers yet, hey?
no, but you know how it goes with prototyping and making sure
Yeah.
that, like, if you're 2-3 mil off from
When
one
it's
to
over.
another, then it doesn't fit.
Hmm.
Yeah, Bio Miller says it's been a long time, no comment to read afterwards. That's strange.
Yeah, bizarre.
I wonder if they uh, stopped doing that for some reason, because it always. I mean, after processing, right? It used to put them back up, and you could see them. But
Hmm.
anyway,
That's weird. Look at this. Phew. Fucking cool. I like it.
so yeah, here we go.
That's it. Oh, I forgot my lamp. It's
That's
not
all
bad
right.
even without it, actually. I
No,
have to say. So yeah. So we got the A1s. I haven't had a chance to listen to it since we're gonna speak on the elephant in the room. Phew. I'll do the sound effects for this. Uh, but yeah, I like the fact that it's compatible with the Gen 2s, so people are not again stuck or whatnot. I don't know how this cradle to cradle will work with it. if they had changed the internal framework structure of it, that it actually would be replaceable. Because a lot of people, after a few drops, that driver is just way too heavy for those plastic supports that it's screwed into the main frame, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
And those things break off, and the speaker starts to fart because there's no more, like, the air is just going everywhere at that point, and it's rattling, and we cannot repair that. Like, it's the entire bottom you got to order.
Yeah, or in Europe you send it to Germany to that repair
Hmm.
center.
Well, yeah, but they're still swapping the entire bottom because there's no way, because it's all glued in together, unless they have some tools that we don't have that are specific to repairing that. But I like it. Apparently, it sounds better, which I would expect. Better battery, or better life battery, I guess. So
Yeah, it's slightly louder. It's slightly more bass output. It's slightly tweaked.
I wonder if it's heavier, because that bass was already teetering on the point of dancing. You know what I mean? Especially when you have it hung on the wall by the string, it starts to boomy.
Well, I mean, they do kind of give you a hint of how to hang it and not have that issue.
Hmm. That's interesting. How can I be boomy now all of a sudden? Like,
I don't know. You're not boomy to me, so I don't fully know what's going on.
let me see in my app. I'm still in the gaming mode for sound.
Huh.
Weird. Let me put it to movie. See what? Yeah, I don't know if the change. I don't think that changes the microphone behavior at all. Because I know we had the echo when I was doing FPS for some weird reason. So, sorry, dude. You need to turn your bass down or put me to speech on your TV.
No, you can still
Oh.
use it in the shower. Just don't hang it against the wall and play it very loudly, because then it's gonna
Yeah,
like.
because it starts to dance on the off the wall. I find, like, in the shower, it's better to just put it on the countertop, and you're fine because it doesn't dance. But if it's hanging, it can't play full volume without vibrating off the wall.
Yeah, unless it's
Unless you have
hanging
it like
free.
hanging on the, or it's hanging over top of a jacket per se, right? Then it won't do it. But yeah, free hanging is also, but you can still see it dance.
You can now buy two for the exact price of two. As promised.
Oh, BNO. Ah, no.
It's they're so weird.
I know. You know what's weird too, though, that they're going towards these, like, honeytone, which is Atelier color, right?
Yeah.
It costs the same, and then silver natural is natural, right? That just doesn't change anything. I don't know why they moved away from the black anthracite. I think that's more to roll out for colors because they won't really have much to come up with in the recent future. Hopefully, they got something for the goddamn November 17th.
Yeah, one would hope so.
But yeah, we'll see.
I mean, the year isn't over, but it's looking sparse so far.
Mm. But well, at least there's something, right? I like the fact that they had removed the Alexa from this completely. Like, all these nonsense voice services are no longer a forced part of the product.
Yes, absolutely. I didn't like
Yeah,
them, never liked them, never. It also didn't make any sense because during that same time, everything else was Google Voice.
that's right. Except this was Alexa, which I don't know how or what Amazon deal they had with Bezos
But also, if you had an
to.
iPhone, you had to download Alexa to your phone to operate it.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. What I don't know what deal they used to have with Bezos that was forced onto these products,
Yeah,
or just that product per se.
it's circular, just not in shape. God, some of these marketing things they come up with are fucking hilarious.
So what else is it circular in?
The cradle to cradle.
Oh my God!
So it's
So
like it's the circle of life.
that's what
Literally.
happens when you smoke weed on lunch and you come back to the boardroom after and come up with freaking uh, slogans, circular but not just in shape. Wow. But
Yeah,
it's
they're
nice.
quite something.
What I wonder why there is like, so what are they trying to tell us? If you're saving for B&O, you can't afford the dryer, so you just hang your clothes in the air while the music plays to them,
Well, also you apparently leave it outside until your laundry is done because that's the only way to get it off, right?
or dry it after the shower, like you see here.
Let's see. You have more Yes. You have more volume than I do for some reason.
Start to take over.
Eh. I'll add some volume to mine.
There you go. Never seen a pink shower, and I've been to a very, very many residences in my career. I've never seen a pink shower. Have you?
Yes.
In Florida, right?
Also in the Netherlands.
That's messed up.
It was yes. I've seen them in both places. It was awful.
I ain't never seen a pink shower. Like, what the fuck?
Like properly awful.
Yeah. Is there more to this? Because I'm done watching her wet this thing.
Apparently you can use it in the shower like that and just not care.
Get all soap scum and shit into the grill. Right
Yeah.
on. Tap your freaking shaving blade on it.
No, the when I bought my last apartment, it wasn't pink, but it was bright orange, like the whole shower room. And by bright orange, I mean
like construction sign orange.
Yeah, like this sort of orange.
Oh, call this. That's wow. Good morning, hey? Like,
yes.
Jesus Christ.
The only two things that were white in that whole room were the tub and the sink.
Oh my God. Do you have orange towels?
No, we tore it all out.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It was a disaster, but it worked in the end.
Yeah, we've been doing this podcast for so long that I've seen you move into three different places now.
Yeah.
And I have moved quite a bit too, I guess, in the last recent history.
Yeah.
So I guess we keep the background changing constantly.
Yeah, I never expected to move this much in my life, but here we are.
Neither have I. And now it's even more difficult with all that.
Yeah. Well, it happens. I think our audio levels are more or less the same now, or should be close to.
Yeah, just save everything so we are set for the next 346.
Yeah, I try to.
Right on.
But yeah, the standard 5-year warranty, I think you have to sign up again for that or something, which is weird, right? Because your app is already signed up. But then you have to sort of sign up again.
Apply.
Yeah, well, you basically have to be okay with a bunch of marketing material or something to be emailed to you. And that's how you get like 3 years extra warranty. And it's like, okay, but I already get that. So what's the difference?
I don't think there is any.
Yeah. It's
not like they're going to send you 3 times the same email because you agreed on 3 different products in your app to extend the warranty on them. You know, if you bought a stereo pair of these and you have H100s, are you going to get triple emails for everything?
Maybe.
Just one.
Who knows?
Interesting. I don't get much mail from B&O, to be honest. I get the occasional promo, whatever. This I got that obviously that it came out with the upgraded case and it's nicer looking and whatnot and whatever.
Ed says if using in the shower, glad the A1 doesn't have a secret camera now. Well, if it's secret, they wouldn't tell you.
Exactly.
Like all of a sudden, like you're on vacation, your data plan is all run out, right? Because you showered.
6.5 gigs going through something. Your hotspot on the phone.
Yeah, 4K, 10 minutes.
Fuck. Fabric USB-C to USB-C cable. Okay, so it's gonna be a nicer cable to it.
Yeah, they've
I'm gonna
been doing
crack
that
one
for a
open.
while now.
I'm gonna crack one open on Monday. But well, they've been doing it. You know what's weird? Sometimes what happens, it's not the first time. It actually happened last week as well, and it's never like somewhere close. A guy came, bought an Emerge, and gets it home, and you know how they put that white box in with a particular power socket adapter, right? That slides onto the power supply.
Yes.
Oh, not there. So he couldn't turn it on, right? We had to Uber it to freaking whatever, but it's like shit, man. But now they're apparently stopping, right? Which was a newsletter that you can order now, because I don't think that whoever's in charge of SKUs doesn't believe that we have enough SKUs right now, or maybe they just haven't had a look at the exploded view. Because if you look at like the theater per se, it's two screens worth of grill colors now, right? Because all the Atelier is available as a part number. So now there are going to be two different part numbers for Emerges, which is one with and one without the power supply. And I think the same will go for the. I don't think it can go for the level unless they just supply the circle, the charging circle, and f off with the power supply.
Yeah, that would be weird.
I find it weird with the Emerge because that product is not even battery powered. I understand with the A5, right?
Mm.
But but not with the level per se, or even Emerge. I just don't get it.
I can highlight you.
Oh, right on. But I think they realize, or they rely on the fact that a lot of people have these power supplies, which introduces another thing that is that whatever you're plugging into at home now powerful enough to pull an Emerge at, let's say, 75% volume even, right? Or is it going
Probably
to start,
not.
right?
I mean, for the A5, right, it's kind of strange because you need a very specific power supply that is strong enough on the 24-volt line.
Yes.
Uh,
Well, so is the level. I think it requires that too. Maybe not as much because level doesn't have that extra wireless charging and such. Yeah, this is the USB-C power adapter.
yeah, because this
Watts.
one, it's not just that it's 45 watts, because that's what it says in the manual, right? But it also says that it needs to do what, like 2 amps or something on 24 volts? Or 2.5 amps or something like that?
I can tell you. I do possess one right here. But I do not possess the eyesight for these fucking letters, dude. So here comes the magnifying glass.
Because I have one of these with a Dutch plug on it, right? And I can't use it because stupid Dutch plugs. But
Okay, output is 5 volts, 3 amps, 12 volts, 3 amps, 20 volts, 2.25 amps, 15 watts is 9, or sorry, at 15 watts,
yeah, it's a 20
12
volt one.
volts at 3 amp and 36 volts, or 36 watts, 20 volts at 2.25 amps at 45 watts power. And then 15 volts at 3 amps at 45 watts of power, and 9 volts at 3 amps at 27 volts of power, or watts of power. So
Because in
that
the little
is,
booklet with the A5, it says that if you use a different one that's rated for the same power, it may not work because the 20 volt is not high enough or not present at all.
yeah, I just use mine. If I were to use like a third party one, it would be more or less for the wireless charger. Than for the wireless charger than the powering up a level or on Emerge. Both of those, well, they came, at the time came with their own power supply, so that's what I'm running.
Yeah,
But
I almost never use it indoors when it's plugged in anyway, so it's not really a problem.
mhm,
But if you want to use an A5, if it's, I don't know, rear speaker, and you have like an iPad charger, it's not enough. Even though it's enough to charge it, it's not enough to play it
at that volume,
as it's plugged in. It may just
yes.
not do it at all. Like it may not even come online.
No, I think it would revert to battery, and then once the battery dies, it just turns off.
Yeah, and then you get into a mess because all of a sudden your TV doesn't understand what's going where anymore.
Yeah, the DPL still needs a little bit of massaging, but it's interesting problem in the shop because we're more or less gonna be forced to open another account and maybe put it on a different subnet or a network altogether because we can't test anything ASC or Mozart on the shop network because we are 24.
Yeah, that's weird.
So it's going to start introducing problems because I think we're now at 25, but the 25th one is now turned off because I didn't plug in the stage. So we're still at 24 devices, 16 wired and 8 wireless. So if we put anything in the network, and it's usually you leave it for a few days, right? And then you take it off, or you put a whole bunch of different things together on the network, right? If you're testing a whole bunch of shit. And yeah, I think it needs to be separated because it's going to be a wrench toss like nobody's business into the operation of the store.
Couldn't you like put things like a stage and an A5 and that sort of thing on its own subnet that you never like multi-room to other things, essentially?
Yeah, but I don't think that it's possible to do with the Eero network that we have. Like, unless you call the 1-800 number, like it's not a pro network, right? If it was
Yeah.
Ubiquity, yeah, you can separate all this shit to whatever. Because that's what I would have done. I would have like some of those things that are not, but that's not realistic because you do play from one to the other because people wonder, right, if they're looking at the stage and you're playing from the Beosound 2, you join those two together and you kind of have to show that seamless operation. You can't just like, oh, hold on a second, I gotta grab the other iPad because it's on a different network and this doesn't fucking work together, and then you just see the back of the client as he's walking out the door. So no, I think that's what I don't understand is how do you go about large installations then? Like, how do you share that over 24? Do you have, let's say, 24 zones per floor if you have a two-story home?
Yeah, or hope to
That's
God
your
that they
max?
never want to use it that way. Or buy that much. I guess with the new tariffs and prices, right? It's impossible to have that many
You got
zones.
24 zones. Wow, right? No, but you can get there even like if it's 8 zones is a limitation. Like, if somebody buys let's say a Beosound 2 for the kitchen and an A9 for the living room, right? And they buy a theater for the living room. Then you can buy a couple emerges, like, and if it's all Wi-Fi, then you're starting to reach the point of where you can't put anymore.
Yeah.
Or do you put on that wireless to Ethernet adapter and plug it hardwired so it's thinking it's hardwired, but you still go through Wi-Fi?
And then you have that mess of cables because you can't move it or put it anywhere.
Yeah.
That's another thing. If you're into emerges, you may as well buy one now. A little birdie told me. So
Yeah, do it, people. They should start coming with a couple more colors on the Emerge since it's going to be staying, and they discontinued the black one. or
but is
AKA the router.
is it going to be staying?
I don't see why not. Our new display window is all about the Emerge and the A9. So there's going to be a push for the Emerge.
Yeah, or maybe to get to sell them all before you sit with them.
Or that. I don't know what they're going to do, if they're going to come up with something that is... it needs to have more balls, man. Emerges are great. Stereo paired, they're great, but in a small room.
I mean, if this gets any more expensive, like, it's just not worth it.
Well,
Look,
you're buying a piece of elegant art, right? Not just the sound or music system, essentially.
I mean, as a concept, I dig it, right? As a speaker, I always thought it was too expensive for what it was, but it's going up, and it's like, oh.
Yeah.
I mean, even more now when you compare it to like M3s or something. I mean, when it launched, it
M3
was
sounds horrible compared to the Emerge, brother. I've listened to both, and like the Emerge, definitely nowhere near as bass heavy as the M3 was. But the clarity and definition on the top end is unmatched.
sure, but it was also 3x the price, right? When it started,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I
now
can't
it's
really bitch about it because I bought my M3 on off of Amazon Black Friday or Cyber Monday, whatever the heck it was, years ago, and I paid $250 for it, Canadian, after tax.
yeah, exactly. I mean,
So
I think in euro it was like 250 or something for a long time, and I mean it's now an Emerge is now 4x. It's like, yeah,
but he did you couldn't stereo pair the M3s though.
no, but that's not generally how you use them anyway.
No, no.
I mean, it was so cheap that you could like put it in your bathroom that didn't have proper ventilation, and if it broke, eh, you just go out and
It
buy a
was
new
at
one.
the time, honestly, it was the cheapest audio master to introduce into the old master link through the converter.
Yeah, because it did everything it core did, essentially.
It's exactly with a little speaker in it. So no, and it still does. It has a title now. Fuck, because I looked at it on my girlfriend's house, and yeah, like the software's updated. Like it's got the title on it now. Now I'm
Yeah,
fucking on the fence again. Tabarnak. Should I go to the title and come back? 'Cause, here's weirdness that's happening now with the Deezer, and it's not B&O related at all. It's more or less in the vehicle, and it's in my Audi, and it's in the Transit the same. And I drive. I can listen to 4 songs, and the fifth one will stop 15 seconds on the dot before it ends and stops, and I have to skip to the next.
what with Deezer?
Yeah. And if I go back to restart the song, it stops exactly on the same spot, 15 seconds to the end.
That is really weird.
That is, I just don't know how that is possible or how it's happening. Do I have a fucking bug of some sorts in my Deezer app now? Because it's not doing it in the house, but I'm not using Deezer, right? I'm using the
Yeah.
B&O Deezer interface. But I kind of sort of like the title because the headphones work with it.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Wait, Audis are now Sonos?
oh Christ, I am so staying with mine. I love my Audi, bro. It's old, but it's well taken care of, and it doesn't, it doesn't flinch, and it sounds great inside. So no, I'll stay. I think nowadays with all this new tech and shit it's stuffed into these cars with these huge displays and no buttons physically to touch anything with. I don't agree with it. I never agreed with it, and it was more and more as even when I was working at Audi, it started all with those, everything's a touch screen now. Why do I have to like slide my finger somewhere and the fucking look at it? I have to be looking at where I'm sliding it to turn up my temperature.
Yeah. Before it was just
Just little tick tick tick, right? Because it's got that nice click in it. And now it's nonsense, bro.
Yeah, I don't understand, but it happened. Volkswagen seemed to be the one that majorly screwed up with that, where like even the buttons on the steering wheel are like touch sensitive.
Yeah. They're all. So are they gonna wear out? Like those buttons that you can now see through the color. I mean, or
No, they
the
don't even
light.
actuate, right? Like you
No, I
just,
know. They're just you just. But yeah, if you're scrolling through it or you're sliding your finger around it, you're still gonna wear out that shit.
I guess you're
Versus
gonna
just
put it full of
pushing
scratches
it.
before it goes out.
That's it. But I just don't understand it. It's the only thing there is a knob now in the car that I've noticed is a volume control and on off in the same, right, for the radio and hazard lights. Because I think have to be by law, you have to have a fucking button for it because it also
Yeah.
has to flash, right? And yeah, the last thing you want to do is you get a flat tire, you're gonna pull over and now go through your freaking car system menu to find where the hazards button is. For the love of God!
Yeah. Yeah. Everything is in a sub menu now, which is
No,
really
it's too
annoying.
much. I like the buttons. I'm sorry, call me crazy. I like the buttons and I like the smell of gasoline burning out of the muffler, bro. I do. It's just that's the way that you can enjoy the car. But yeah, if I were to buy, I don't know. I'd definitely go for an Audi. Maybe I would buy an older model, like an older A6 with the acoustic lenses. B&O. Kareem, how you doing, brother? That's it. And yeah, I don't know. I don't like the new interface in the vehicles. Plus, there's everything is with the SIM cards and all that nonsense. It's just a question of time when the insurance companies will be invited to take your
Oh,
information of how you
people are
drive.
already suing companies here over that. Because like GM apparently with that OnStar, they just pass it along to all the insurance companies.
Fuck.
And apparently you signed for it because it's in the small print somewhere, right?
When I rented a car when I was in Calgary, what I found the absolutely most bothersome thing ever is please consider taking a coffee break.
Yes.
Boom. And like, because the car knows it's on the highway, it didn't do it in the city. But as soon as I got on the highway, even in Calgary, like you go in Deerfoot, you're on the highway, you're still in the city, right? This thing's fucking telling me to pull over to have a coffee. I'm like, are you serious, man? Like, it's too much.
Yeah, it has sensors in the dash near the cluster that look at you.
I wonder.
Because
Probably has an
you
issue.
can induce that message by just doing that and driving, right?
Or yeah, staring at your lap more or less on the phone or whatever. I guess people
Yes.
do that too.
I've tried that before. And it will just boing at you.
Fuck. So yeah.
It's yeah, it's annoying. I don't like where cars are going. They were better 15 years ago.
Well, in the A3, you no longer even have a shift stick anymore, right? It's just a D, N, and R, right?
Yeah, it's
And
literally
P.
a toggle that you grab
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this.
It's what is that? I don't like it,
It's
but
Audi's
that's.
diamond.
I think that the Volkswagen has the same thing and I think Karim
It's
because he
all
just got the
VW
new.
group.
Yeah, he got his new R. It's the same thing. Slidey, slidey. Hi, Stefan. It's a slidey, slidey, man, up and down, up to drive and back to, or down to reverse. Not a fan. Not a fan of that, and that's just where we're headed. So I'm gonna keep my car till it falls apart right under my ass, and that is it. And then I'll take a B&O speaker grill and frame it as a memento with my license plate. Oh boy. So yeah. Uh,
Finally, you can order it the proper way.
I I understand why it never came out with the wood slats in the beginning, right? Because it would kind of compete on the aesthetics with the weave, the Nordic weave. Because I find this much nicer than the Nordic weave.
Yes.
And
Though I have come to love the Nordic weave as well. That people were surprised that you converted to Emerge. I've converted to the Nordic weave quite a bit over the last year. So
well, I haven't really converted to Emerge. Like, I have it out of pity in the hallway that it plays for exactly 300 seconds when I leave and when I come in. That's all it does on the gateway.
wow,
So it's more than enough. Take your shoes off and hang the coat,
just get that power supply a bit warm and then stuff.
and done. But yeah, no, I like it. I like the colors. I guess the red one is now a standard issue, apparently, as I see there.
Well, it is more. It's no, it's 2.5 grand.
Of course it is, but it's
Limited
shown as it is a
Atelier.
limited edition. Okay, it is still okay. And then it's a natural, right, with the spaced aluminium. That one still looks the sexiest in my opinion. I wish they did that spaced aluminium on the level, but I don't. Well, they could because I've seen aluminium covers for it. Because most of the Wi-Fi nonsense is in the back.
Yeah. Also, if your aluminium isn't all that thick, it's fine.
Hmm. But yeah, they should introduce some sexy covers, not just have them in their factory, right, under
Yeah.
a blanket. Here you go. This is what we can do, but we're not doing it.
Yeah. There's a lot of that. They can do a
Hmm.
lot of things that they don't want to do. It's just strange.
But if you're already on the Atelier board, right, or boat, whatever you want to call it, then why not? Like, why not show things that you have with the level in your factory 5 or whatever that showroom thing is, and just show the capability. This is what we can do. Yeah, you want a aluminium level for the grill, or for a grill for the level, then yeah, it's gonna cost you fucking the same as the level itself, but it's available, right? Like you can order it, and I would go back stupid and buy one too. Fuck.
Instead of buying an Emerge, just buy an A5. It's a better all-around purchase.
It is. I honestly think that's like the best nightstand speaker in my opinion.
Yeah, and if you're quite Nordic, right? Like
Hmm.
buy this. Like this looks excellent, and it was silly that for such a long time you could buy the covers, but it had to be a separate purchase. Like you have to buy, I don't know, the basket or something because it was the cheapest, and then you would have to pay another $300 USD for just this oak to put over it.
Yes. Or just
Space
wait till your cat has the does its number with its paws on the Nordic weave and you replace it for wood.
Space aluminium does not sell.
Doesn't
Well,
sell.
I bought one.
Yeah, we sell a lot of this and the black anthracite.
Like with the dark oak.
Hmm.
Interesting.
That and the Nordic weave. Nordic weave goes. People don't. Yeah, for some reason, yeah, the aluminium one is not the popular color here in within this region, South Coast, Quebec, and Ontario, because we do have clients in Toronto as well.
Yeah, like I said, I've grown quite fond of this picnic basket look.
It is very picnic basket looking. Where the other one, it has a little bit more refined look when you put the wood on it. But yeah, I think this is one of the best nightstand speakers. They should have adopted the idea of Beosound 1 from the 2000s and put the clock behind the grill. But then it comes with its own problems of what grill can you put on it because the lamellas would cover it.
Well, they could have put it on the top. There's plenty of space on the top.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing I would have personally wanted to do is get like this dark chassis and put the space aluminium cover on that as a
Hmm.
standard. because
That would look cool.
I think that as a contrast would look quite nice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, another thing is, right, like
Karim should add a CD tray below. Oh shit! Oh, it's too funny.
one of those old Sony Walkman things that buffers for like 40 seconds.
That's it.
So you
So
can like
you got
shake it.
for 35 seconds. Oh boy.
But another thing that I particularly like about this one is the handle itself. The aluminium handle is I think a nicer handle. I mean, I also use it outside all the time, right? Near a pool. So like with this handle and wet hands, I'm much less fussed about like grabbing it and moving it.
But I'm sure that wood is treated to an extent, right? With something.
Sure,
then
but
again,
like
still, yeah.
longevity wise.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's probably fine, but like, it's aluminium, right? Like, it's like, what's going to happen? Absolutely nothing.
Well, it's cradle, bro. You can just get another handle.
What, for free? Or pay the...
and pay the tax. Pay the
exactly.
Usage tax. You're going to have to do that. But,
hey, you forgot to chew.
Chew. I'm deeply in the thought. But yeah, I like the new interface. It works pretty well so far. I guess now that we figured out the sound. So
I think our sound is pretty much on par, other than that you scream a bit more than me, and it's hard to adjust for. Because when you talk normally, it's sort of okay.
And then it's just I get excited. A tragedy almost struck yesterday. Was making coffee. You see the crack?
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck I did. If I didn't close the handle completely on the Pixie, I believe I did. I did nothing bad, but like nothing out of ordinary.
Yeah.
I put the coffee thing on. I turn on the thing. I turn on the water. The fucking capsule exploded inside the machine, bro. And it shot the entire tray. And it shot the glass off of the machine. And it hit the countertop. And it stopped. Quarter-inch of the lip was already past the counter edge, man. It was just about to go down, to fall, and it would have broken to pieces, but it didn't. But yeah, I've only had this happen once before, and that was the Romeo machine that I had for like 14 years, and it happened on the very first or second month of us using it. We had a capsule that just went off inside it, man. Like I don't know if just double sealed aluminium, right? On that filter side, that it's just like it ran through the thing twice, and boom. So yeah, it was Kareem. These are all inside jokes that I'm not gonna make outside jokes yet, but it's funny that that's what it is. So
I'm
the
sorry.
Beo gods were angry.
I'm looking at levels, and there's like
Milwaukee makes them the best.
There's like 3 different places where you can set your volume sliders, which is bloody strange. So
on what we're doing.
Yeah, and it also seems like however loud I talk, Windows just decides, actually, no, I don't want your mic that loud. It's going to be quieter. This is why I'm like so all over the place.
Interesting.
So it's, I don't know. What the fuck's going on? It's bizarre.
I have settings here, don't I? Somewhere.
Yeah, but in the Microsoft tab, right, you can set how loud your speakers are, like the volume dial, right? You can do that exactly for your microphone as well. I set it to 80. I start talking and it just goes, no, back to 70. And then if you laugh too loud, back to 50. And then it just doesn't autocorrect back up.
Interesting.
Like, what the hell? This is probably why I'm relatively quiet.
Mm. Wow, it's the first day with this thing, so far so good. Nothing's crashed, which I'm happy
Happy.
about.
Yeah.
I'm happy about that. Nothing's gone to shit.
It works so far. Yay.
So far so good.
Evening, Les.
But yeah, I think that they should be coming out with something else pretty quick. No, I'm highlighting. No, I
Like
hope they
what,
come up with
Willies? Like
something.
what?
I don't know, something for the 100th anniversary because nothing's leaking yet. So, because I ain't seen nothing go through the sieve, bro. They're pretty good at it. They've got it locked down as far as whatever the new thing
Well,
is. I hope it's something big.
that could be a new thing, or they could just be terrible, at making new products for the time being.
I just hope they don't just engrave everything with 100 since 1925 to 2025 type of thing, and put a color on it.
That's probably what they'll do.
But yeah, if the prayers would be heard, my friend, a new Beomaster would definitely be something that wouldn't be a bad idea at all. Or a new streamer, I guess, whatever.
I mean, I guess we have this little thing, if it wants to load, like an Instagram Shorts thing.
What's this?
The Instagram Shorts thing about. Wait, why is it? Why is it
What
not
are they
playing?
matching? It's made out of a pan.
No, it's that. I don't know why it's not playing.
Copyright, bro.
Yeah, who knows? But yeah, if you're on the app, it's almost impossible to re-find this. So
Oh, really?
well, go look at your phone. If you've watched it once, you can almost not re-find it. You have to
Interesting.
go to their page and stuff, right?
Hmm. It's pretty OCD stacking. Jesus Christ, the hat. Call this man. What the
It's something you would wear for Halloween.
fuck? Freaking, what is it? The chocolate factory.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, that was pretty okay. Okay, Under the Stars. I don't quite understand that.
Yeah, it's very artistic, bro.
Totally. At least it's on in each picture. Yeah, this is not an ideal installation. Oh my god, that's so cool. It's
Yeah.
actually probably one of the nicer pictures.
But yeah, on the main site, again, there's essentially nothing. I mean, these,
A
but
one
these,
of a kind.
but these were already there last week.
Hmm.
I guess we kind of missed that.
Oh, that was the pan. That was the pan.
Oh, sorry, I mislooked. These are what you call it, pins. So these are always on top for some nonsensical
They
reason.
matter. Put the pan on. I want to see. She's gonna bake it to a third generation, dude. Oh no, that's like a airport
Travel,
pan.
yeah.
Where's your watch?
Where
Oh,
was
she don't wear a
where was the
watch.
pen you were talking about?
No, the pan. That was the pan, right?
Oh, I thought you said
That's
the
it.
pen. The pen you
I don't
showed us
know.
that looks like a Beolab 18.
No, I don't know where those are at yet, but I hope they're gonna get to us. But yeah, this is Pan 1. Okay, so it passes the freaking airport thing then, I guess.
They're going from Chicago to New York.
Who?
Which interesting.
Oh, the what year is it? Does it say? It's like 2027. She's in the future. Let me grab another coffee. See if it doesn't explode. Now I get second thoughts about this machine now.
Yeah.
I let in a fly, which sucks.
Let's see.
Never really thought I would mind the insects, but now I do, because if the fly lands at on the 90s and the cat sees it, that's a problem because it's gonna go after it.
Apparently, the actual plane, the NA4321, is in San Diego.
Okay,
So,
found him. So they're flying from CES.
I don't
Or
know.
something.
I think it's one of these randomized, almost stock image ones. So, yeah, well,
Not much.
yeah. We can look at this again. Was this the?
That's the new Beogram thing, no?
I don't know. This is the sort of teaser. Form and function unites creative dialogue between past and present. Hashtag Bang & Olufsen. I mean, on the left, it almost looks like the top of a Beolab 18 to me, with those sort of ridges.
Balls are, I don't know, just balls. And then you got the explosion, the eyeball, iris, tape. I don't know what the tape is about, and eclipse.
I mean, it seems like form and
A
function
good
unite in
good Friday night on acid is what that looks like.
between past and present. It probably looks like a new classic product. Yeah.
Oh fudge, Lord will make it a turntable again, because they're not gonna go to tapes. That's still another 10 more years before we get to that.
I would hope that they do a speaker, but classic speakers redone are more interesting than more CD or record players.
What are they gonna make, red lines with Mozart in them? Fuck.
What about fives?
You could stuff it in there.
Mm-hmm.
I think you would have a problem with heat, because you have the extra additional heat of all that Mozart nonsense, which is definitely puts out some.
Yeah, but if
It's
you
even my level and emerge, dude, like even like in standby, right, which they're constantly yakking over the network to one another anyways, they're warm. They're freaking warm. So if you were to introduce that, I don't know where you would stuff it. Like maybe into the neck of the speaker. That would be possible to do.
I don't know, or maybe remake the boards so that you don't have these big ass caps that potentially rock off over time.
It's not the caps that go, dude. It's the little transistors in the amps, more or less.
Oh, okay.
And the ice amps, those 1,000 watt amps, there's two of them that are driving mid bass and lower bass, and then the tweeter and the mid range is sandwiched between all the logic boards and DAC and such. And then the power supply sits over top of all that.
So they should have put a little fan in there or something.
Yeah, but where the fuck is that fan gonna blow, dude?
Baseport, right? Just from the bottom driver, right? Like where it
Jesus.
just bleeds off some air to cool everything down.
Yeah, there's no way to improve on cooling system unless they make that those 5 fins that are there at least 7, right? And so there's a lot more heat sink to dissipate the heat, because there is no other way. Like if you were to remake a lap 5 into a Mozart platform, I think you could get away with the touch interface on the top because they could do it with the aluminium still.
Yes.
Because inside that lens, there is enough space for that board backlighting and the touch sensor, because it's already there anyways. And this is, we're talking 2003 technology as far as that touch capacitance boards and everything else is, which nowadays these LEDs are fucking minute compared to what the size of it is in that board now.
I mean, we're talking about
And doing the same job.
2019 tech for Edge, the Beosound Edge, which had like backlit touch sensitive aluminium on top.
Yeah, the micro drilled, which now is basically every Bang & Olufsen logo on the Lab 8s.
Yeah.
And 20s. It came out on the 20s, was the first ones that had I forget what the heck they called. But then the 20s, the 90s were the next ones. I don't think anything else after that had it. And then it's Lab 8, Edge before that. And that's about all there is for the perforated aluminium logos, no?
I think so.
I can't think of anything else that has that see-through or those logos shine through. Yeah, it's only the Edge, because on the States, they're etched or laser engraved, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I don't know what they're gonna come up with, man. But I hope it's something cool.
I hope so too. It would be nice if we finally got something this year, other than, I don't know,
Colors, and multiple software updates, which
and
somewhat
higher
slowly and surely,
prices, and
slowly but surely, they're making them it better. But well, if the new sub is coming, then we'll see what it is.
I definitely wouldn't mind all that.
No.
Nope.
But then there's a writing on the wall. I think that the 18s and the 19 are gonna go if there's gonna be a subwoofer replacement. I don't see a point for the 18s to be there anymore. And I think that what they have to do, absolutely have to do, in my opinion, is maybe have a requirement that you have to have the core hardwired network, and then use the internal Wi-Fi antennae for DPL. And then you could have a 5-point surround out of it, because you could have a center channel of some sorts, right?
Yeah.
Say it's a legacy or not, and then you can put 4 28s or 8s into the system. So yeah, 18s are going.
Sad days.
Well, you know what? Oh, call this. It's finally the time is up for the the ASC platform, right? Like,
But it's kind of not really on that, is it? Like, these are not really ASE. They don't have anything built in. They're kind of dumb, but because
they're dumb speakers now. That's not how it works anymore.
Yeah, but they're perfect because they're dumb.
Yes.
I mean, it's like a pretty mistress that never annoys you and never talks really, and just is like fine with whatever.
And now she's fired.
I mean,
so
yeah, they haven't even turned 18 yet.
No, I'm sure that it also has to do with the cost production, because if you look at how those are made versus, let's say, how Lab 8s are made, right? I think that the manufacturing process is a bit simpler than, polishing a huge tube of aluminium, where also the reject rate probably increases due to discoloration through extruding the aluminium.
Incredibly,
the cone.
Yeah, the cone is like incredibly sharp. And then from like more or less here to here, it's one perfect piece that it needs to be. And then you need to do the top lens as well, because any defects in that are going to be obvious straight away.
Oh yeah, no, that speaker has to be built perfect. And I think that if you look at the cost of production for the aluminium in Lab 8, right, which is basically just a paint can worth, a large paint can with two sides cut off and processed machined. I don't think you have that level of cosmetic failure rate than you would have with something that's a meter long diamond polished aluminium. And I think also because of that, it's limiting to what you can do with it as far as the WISA, right? The antenna nonsense and placement of it. So
The
yeah,
fan in his wonky ears.
uh, so
I,
yeah,
I still can't understand why the eights sound bad to you, because I honestly I don't hear it.
neither do I. I don't understand. I don't understand.
Same
But
for 17s. I don't hear it. What's going on with your ears, Stefan?
I've had 17s for a while back in Calgary too. I never had an issue with them. The pain. But yeah, it's going to be sad to see them go. But I wonder if they're going to actually come with a replacement that is something in between the 8s and 28s, because 28s are now shooting pretty much a little bit higher in the sky than they're worth, in my opinion.
Yes, very much so. Because let's see, 28s for the base fabric start at 18.5 USD,
Hmm.
which is spicy. Because when they launched, they were what, like 12.5 or something.
I think so.
Look, I still think they're quite good, right? Just as an 18 replacement, I don't think they fully hit the mark in terms of style.
No.
It's also in terms of looks, it's a bit of a strange driver layout because of how they look. I think they look quite decent, but not as like classically elegant as 8000s or 18s.
But they're still they're easier to move than the 18s, in my opinion. But that's about all the plus they have. The
But if you want
the
them
power
with a
management is a disaster on them, to
if you
be
want
honest.
a bit nicer with some oak, right? Like you're talking over 20 grand USD without any sales tax.
Yeah, that's steep.
Like Chicago, New York, add another 10% to it. So like,
Mm.
I mean, even for what is currently new with current warranties and whatnot, I think I'd rather have my setup with 18s and a 19. Like,
The only flaw that I find with the 28s, and I'm not talking acoustics, but from the installation perspective, they don't have the ability to have either carpet spikes or the hardwood floor feet, because they come with these goofy rubber pads, right? And then you have another half or double the thickness, right, added so you can balance the speakers out. But you could never have them straight level, especially here in Montreal when these old homes and the floor more or less sags towards the middle of the floor. So they all fucking lean like Michael Jackson in a Smooth Criminal movie, man. Like, it's not, you can't have them leveled. And I
you,
wish that you could have those feet that you can screw in just like on the bottom of the 18s and the 8000s back in the yesteryears,
what
where you could level them up.
what I did in Europe is like hand tighten the screws in the back, put them down, put a level to the side, and then tilt it, and then uh, close the spine up tight.
Mm,
Because there is some movement in the spine.
yes.
I mean, it looks a bit wonky, right? Because your base thing is sort of like sitting like that. But
Yeah, that's why I can't believe that that was that thought was completely left out of the process of design. But
well, again, right? Because like my original 18s also don't have any uh, function for that. Like they just have rubber stickers on the bottom.
Oh yeah, you have the very early ones.
These are in my possession since like a month and a half, 6 weeks after launch or something like that.
Yeah, they didn't have that. I think they came out with that modification a few years later.
Yeah.
Because I got mine in 2018 or 17, one or the other. And I think 2018 is when I got mine. And they had that, like I posted the video on Instagram a while back, right? That you can rip these off and screw in the actual 8,000 feet
Well,
and
also
level your speaker.
the machining is slightly different on the top of the lens.
Is it?
Yeah, because mine is completely smooth, and yours has the grooves.
Interesting. I never
Like you
noticed
can
that.
make like the
Yeah,
sound
yeah.
with your nail on top. I can't do that to mine.
No shit. I didn't know that. Fuck. Let me see. Yeah, yeah, I can do that.
I can't do that to mine.
So interesting. Very interesting.
I mean, I I don't think I think they wanted the 28s to be the direct replacement for the 18s. And in many ways, if you look at it that way, you sort of go, I see where you're going with it.
Mhm.
Because you kind of don't need a sub, but it's better if you have one.
I think that they are waking up from the fact that you can't move away from a standalone subwoofer in the systems. I think that's you just can't. Yeah, I don't. What's your point, Kareem? Just remember when you demo the '90s to step down to Sonic Better '50s. Yes, that's true, but 28s are not really that much of a step up from the 18s, in my opinion, especially when those are with the sub. But they just don't compete. I find 28s because we've had the Atelier version now, just stereo paired and playing them separate, just for the shits and giggles. I find them bassy.
The 28s, you mean?
Yeah, yeah, they're very heavy on the bass.
They are. Yeah, everything Mozart is.
Fair enough,
It's
because
not.
also my '90s are much heavier on the bass than they were before on the Avant 55 back then, because I bypassed the whole ASC platform with this. Well, I did and I didn't because I did. Did I have them? I had them connected to the core once for a while.
I need to figure out, Kareem, what kind of person are you? Are you like a Willy where you would go for one set of 90s, or are you like a me where you have two sets of 50s? What would you do? Are 50s still worse if you have four of them? Or
I think he would go for the '90s.
no peer pressure from Willy.
Yeah, no, I wonder. Now I wonder to see what the.
Or are you the ultimate salesman that just goes like, no, actually, one set of 90s more money, so that's always better.
All right. Yeah, two sets of 50s. I think I would still. I would nowadays. I would probably go with that more or less for the ease of moving them as well. Then
Stuff I said like 2 years ago always becomes the consensus.
but I still like my '90s.
Look, I still love the 90s. It's not that. It's just like it's all the intangibles around them. It's I mean, I'd happily have a set, but like I would also like happily have a headache if I ever were to move, right?
Oh yeah, the cat's getting zoomies. What are you doing? Get her something to get her mind off this running around shit. Because yeah, they always get complicated when you have to move them.
Yeah, and then you run into, well, in my case, like I moved to a place where I don't know that many people, and the closest person is like, God, 4.5 hours away, something like that. It's just like, hey, bro, come over and help me move my speakers. Like,
How heavy are they?
well, he has 90s too, so
Yeah.
he knows.
See, if you can afford the 90, someone will move them for you. Yeah, that's true. But the problem is also that these people, like, you can't just have,
I don't
like, I
trust any of
understand,
you.
I understand getting movers to, like, get the box from point A to point B, but there's no fucking way that I would trust the movers to take them off the crates with me.
Yeah. Hi,
So,
guy.
so yeah, that's my thing. That no matter what, like, you'd still need somebody that either has done it before, or at least has a good clue on how to work with this stuff. But then again, like, I have all the lifting jigs and stuff, so for me, it's not that big of a deal. But if you don't, then it's a problem.
I mean, maybe this is an idiosyncrasy, but to be very halfway in them, right? I think if you go for a surround setup, I prefer 90s and 50s or 50s over
Mhm.
90s and 90s.
No, I think 90s in the back are a waste almost, in my opinion.
Yeah, but it's also too much, right? Like it's already actually kind of too much with 50s in the back, but because they have the acoustic lens, it spreads it in a very different way than the 90s do in wide mode, which is
Mhm.
kind of beneficial for the back. But it's like dual 90s, whilst possible and whilst in many cases amazing, it can also become kind of uh, sort of like a dentist drill, right? Like you go sort of mad from the sound.
I think that it limits your way of listening to it at loud volumes, because at that point the clarity, it's obviously present, but is your tolerance there for that, right?
It's something that like Beolab 1 people, either the lovers or the haters, it's what it comes down to, right? Like, can you handle the clarity?
Yeah, those are sharp speakers. Fuck.
Because it's I mean, you sort of get this clarity pain instead of like overpressure pain with ones.
Yes.
And it's a very unique type of pain, and I imagine this is what Stefan's pain is when he says like he can't handle 17s or 8s.
Pussy. Everybody's got their demons, man. But yeah, Kareem, you're right that 50s are way more flexible. But I do have to disagree, because these are flexible. They're just not flexible with my neighbors. And even 50s wouldn't be flexible with my neighbors. Kareem. Oh, that's too funny.
Yeah, I mean it's not just like flexible in terms of like moving them, but also how much space something takes up. I mean, also you have a cat, you're already kind of like stressed about her ever getting into like the sales of your 90s, right?
Oh, bro, fuck. But
I
she
have three
doesn't.
cats.
Yeah, that's a no go.
And
Like,
one
at
has
that
already
point.
on the aluminium grills decided like, this could be a good place for my nails.
Oh no.
So it I, like it's to the point where I'm almost getting like a bucket of water. Like you're gonna drown.
Stop it.
I mean,
Yeah, so far, knock on wood, I don't have the issue. She doesn't take any interest in the speakers. She does her own thing, whatever. And you know what? If she claws at the fucking $400 IKEA carpet, so goddamn be it. You know what I mean? It's cheaper than one of those sales.
same. Like if it's the carpet, I'll tell them off like don't do it, but I'm not bothered. But uh,
Yeah, if it starts to get into the furniture and the B&O, then yeah, there is a murder. Murder is the case.
I mean, it has started with our white leather couch a bit, but it was free in the end, so I'm not that bothered.
Yeah, but still, right? Like, the next one you have to pay for, it's not gonna be free. But the cats don't give a fuck. They done the first one, they're gonna do the second one.
No, the next couch isn't going to be leather.
Yeah, my girlfriend bought a fabric couch, and she took kind to that as well. So there's already, the workings of the cat on it.
I used to have a couch.
The best cat is the tuxedo cat made out of Lego. Best $129 you can buy. Will never scratch any of your shit. You gotta dust it every now and then, and it looks great. It looks like a real goddamn cat too.
It's my next couch is gonna. I used to have a couch in this material, and I should have gotten it again. It's boucle, or whatever it's called.
Mm.
It's a very dense sort of knitted fabric almost. It's but anytime they nail anything on here, right? It just looks like how the fabric already is.
Hmm.
And
Interesting. Yeah, it looks fuzzy.
I mean, our cats, like the two boys in the Netherlands, went absolutely ham on these things. And after like 4 years, like you had some longer pulls that you could like literally cut off, and you wouldn't see any of it anymore.
Mm.
And it's also quite a comfortable. It's sort of like a bathrobe type of fabric almost. It's a bit weird to explain. I mean, I love the couch I have now, but like, Jesus Christ, whenever like the zoomies start and whatever, it's like, oh no.
Fuck that, and yeah, the zoomies definitely are something.
Because every
Oh yeah, she runs around too. She runs around as well, but it's I play with her, so I try to tire her out before that even happens. But God knows what she does when I'm gone. But I'm sure there's activity in the house.
well, since I have three cats, right, and I think the latest addition is a girl. She loves one of the cats that is not reciprocated necessarily. So she like goes over for like cuddles or licking or whatever, and he just runs away. And then she's like, "Ooh, this means we're chasing." And she's like, "Oh, make it stop."
Cats are funny, man, but sometimes they can be evil. This one isn't, so I'm glad.
Yeah. I mean,
But
Bacon likes her better, but he's the boss of, so he just slaps her in the face quite often, and then it
that's it.
stops. But Winston is too kind, so he just like runs away. But she
The
thinks it's
cat
like,
doesn't. Chase time.
yeah, bloody
Fuck!
cats.
I was doing an install on Friday. I was putting up a Beolab 8. I turned around. The fucking dog took my glove. So I had it off,
Yeah.
and then forget it, right? Like she couldn't catch him, I couldn't catch him. Like, you know what? That's what it is. Brand new set, just open it. Fuck, it's all slobbered on. God, this. But yeah, that's it's one thing with pets when you do installs. Like, just get them the fuck away from us, because the worst is, yeah, we're okay with it, but what if that dog steps on the drywall saw or whatever, because there, things are around, or jumps on some shit, and then who's responsible? So yeah, I'm not a fan of people having dogs and animals around when we do the installation.
No, I agree.
Cats, they fucking go into the boxes and shit, right? Or they
if
stand on top of the screen because
if it
the
fits, it sits.
it's exactly it. So yeah, it's just, I wish more people had a common courtesy to just keep their pets away from the installation. Where's that? That's a showroom, no? Yeah, that is.
Let's see. Oh, that's Eric. So it must be his showroom in
Sweden,
yes, there's two of them in Sweden, so probably
mm,
Stockholm.
probably. I know the lady from training videos. I forget her name now. She's one of the PRs. She's on the training videos.
Huh.
She's got a thick Spanish accent. It's hilarious.
David says, "I'm glad being out. Don't do that buccal fabric." Well, that's what
I
you
don't
got.
think it's acoustically transparent at all to begin
No,
with.
it's look. It's it's almost as thick as like a mouse mat or something, but
No,
it's
there's no way.
fabric, and it does breathe a bit, but almost not, right? Like it's like you make a fabric sheet and then you knit everything through that same fabric, so it's like double, triple almost. But it's very
I wish
comfy.
that they put a power switch on the 28s, especially like on the wall mount edition, because there's no way to power cycle them without taking everything apart. That's the worst part about those speakers.
Yeah, when I had mine, like I needed tools to pry in the literal the figure eight plug, right? Like my fingers are too big, like with the plug in between to like put it up there.
Because it's covered by those two amplifier cables that are going up from the bottom.
No, not even that. It's just the metal from the spine being there, right? Like,
Oh yeah, no, it's narrow as hell. Yeah, it's not the most. It's I really don't like plugging them and unplugging them off. Usually, if it's possible, just we have couple of no, we have one set that is on the wall, but that is labeled on the breaker. Like, no way. Those fabric covers are nice. The golden uniform, I think it's called.
yeah.
It's they're pretty sexy.
I mean, I do think they're quite good looking, right?
Mm.
It and I still like them for what they are. I just don't. In my case, personally, I don't think they mix all that well with 50s, particularly. But if you have,
Acoustically.
yeah, acoustically,
Hmm.
like optically, they mesh very well. Like they look quite nice together. But just acoustically, it's a bit strange. But so, like, if I had to start over, God, with the budget I actually spent on stuff, like I couldn't buy 50, so I'd end up with 28s.
Yeah, but if you had two pairs of 28s and a theater, I think you'd be fine still,
Oh, absolutely.
acoustically even, because then you have them all matching cross-platform. So
And as far as acoustic, is fabric better than leather? Which is better? It's not as simple as that. As a general rule, fabric is better than leather because leather is doesn't,
reflective.
yeah, and doesn't breathe as much. But a lot of that comes down to
It comes
uh,
down to the room as well
yeah,
and the
but
treating
also
them in the room.
the foam that's used inside your couch, or if it's like pure wool or not. Because remember, right, with a leather couch, the bottom isn't leather. So like there's still a bunch of sound that can come under in and just sort of be trapped there. Uh so the difference, I would say, is minimal, but if you are gonna properly measure like they did with the 90s to like half a dB change here and there, I would almost say you probably have a bigger differential in room acoustics if by moving your couch than necessarily what your couch is made out.
Hmm.
Uh, but if you optimize it, and then you could potentially optimize it with fabric, yes. But then it's also like, is it like for like? Because like the thicker your couch is, right? Like some couches only have like foam like that much, but if you double that, if it's one of these, that's another thing, right? Like here in North America, like there's so many couches that you don't sit in. Like as soon as you touch the fabric, like you go whoosh, like you
Hmm.
sort of sink in it. And I absolutely hate that.
No, there's a lot of them. They're not firm at all.
But they are like, God, the foam is like this much, right? And you
Hmm.
sink down into it like that far. But optically or acoustically, that's probably better. But like, this is partially the beauty of B&O, right? Especially with if you have a theater and or 50s or 90s, is it kind of doesn't matter much anymore. Like all this
Yeah,
room compensation is active and passive, and you can sort of get around it and just put stuff where you like it the most.
yeah, it does correct itself to an extent. Well, theater does it better than the 90s even, but I honestly do prefer, even though they say to turn off the room comp or delete the room comp after the 90s are configured. I find them that they sound, for some reason, less boomy with the room comp
Mm-hmm.
than without it. I don't know why. Has it been that long that I haven't heard them, that I just grown accustomed to that new Mozart platform sound with the bass is deep, but not as deep when you have capable speakers like the 90s when the shit really goes low as hell? You see that theater, there's like a buck tooth on that grill, hey? It's like one that sticks out too much in color. I don't know if it's the resolution or it's just the way that one lamella is just brighter than all the rest of the wood.
I see one darker than all the rest of them.
Yeah, that's the one right beside it where you're showing it, yeah. So
I mean, if you're worried about like the fabric of your couch, you better have a thick ass carpet first.
mm,
I still have to get like one of these what you call it, these underlayment foam pads for my general carpet.
I got one. Like it's already like this carpet is IKEA, obviously, because I could care less with the cat fucking it up. But I bought the IKEA underpad, which is only like I don't know, maybe 1/16 thick.
Mm-hmm.
It's just for it to stop sliding around the hardwood floor. It works very well. It gives a little bit more comfort to it, but it's not. It's nothing major. But it definitely improves the acoustics in the room. 100%. I have to say.
Yeah, my carpet is IKEA too, partially because of that, but also I happened to look at it and it perfectly matches the bottom accent color of our couch, which is
Nice.
like okay, this works perfectly.
Yeah, I like the pattern of it. This carpet. That's why I bought the same one, just bigger than I had in the old apartment.
But it's a big one. It's like 7 by 10 feet, so it's like 2 meter 30 by 3 and a bit meter or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I got. The big boy.
I feel like not so much for comfort, more for acoustics, because my flooring is like a lot more. I have a glass table with like
Hmm.
hard. Uh, what are those Eames plastic eggshell chairs called? Like
I don't know.
nothing is absorbed in the back essentially.
I also found over years that instead of hanging picture frames traditionally on a nail, which especially in North America, I don't think you have that issue in Europe with the fucking solid concrete and brick walls, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I use 3M Velcro strips and I glue the pictures on the wall. So then, A, you have no damage, and B, there's absolutely zero rattle when the wall starts dancing with your 50s or 90s or a subwoofer or whatever it is. And then you can hear the picture frames rattling off of the wall. And it was a funny story with one of the gentlemen that bought. I was always oodling the fives, and he finally ended up getting them. I got him through the second hand, whatever, because it was also his wife limitation. And we run the room comp, and he was just like, "Holy fuck, man, everything's vibrating." I'm like, "Yeah, you need to go to Home Depot and get yourself some bloody Velcro strips and start gluing the picture frames on before your wife comes, because this is not gonna fly. There's just too much bass."
Have you installed one of these
No,
9000C sets yet?
no, I haven't even had a chance to like actually physically look at one at all. Oh yeah, I have the Atelier set up that we did. I did the install on Monday. Let me just email you that picture.
Sure.
It's compose.
This I like what B&O did with Antolini, right? It's just these
Yes,
bases on the 28s look really weird.
they look cheap to me. They look a bit hanky than they should.
I mean, you would almost think that the 18s would be perfect for this, right? Because they could just make a slab of marble for the floor stand and make it more like 8000 thickness if you want to show more of it off.
Mm. It's only one picture, but there we go. Let's email to you. So that is all done out of one single slab of rock. God, yes. That is cool though. It's just not my style of the rock. You know what I mean?
I mean, I like what they do with marble, and I like marble. It's just like it looks
I
a
would
bit
put marble,
strange.
but I wouldn't do the goldstone tube. I would do the like black piano black or black anthracite tube. That's it. Like you can't like the theater looks fucking weird.
Yes.
It looks weird. I'm not a fan of that. It how thick is that? Because it can be that thick, man.
Like two,
Like
three
I have it
mil.
on the yeah, but like it has to be mounted on something because there's no way. Like you'd crack the shit out of it trying to put it on with those, you know, pretty intense magnets because there's three of them
Yeah.
on the plate. Like I don't understand.
Yeah, marble is not something you bend without consequences.
No, you don't. That's it has to be glued on, and it's going through a software update apparently too. Because there's no way that they're just matching the green button play to the marble. God, they're pushing a new software in it.
Let's
Interesting.
see. Do.
But yeah, this was the first Atelier probably. Well, it's not gonna be my last, but it's not gonna be for a while that people are gonna spend that much on it. But yeah, this was the Atelier in a little chalet, bro. Like it's such a cute little house, but there's not much room to play with. We had to hide the existing holes of the disaster that was before. And then I don't have those ugly yellow wall plates, so
You
that's
put
what it
these
is.
on, right? These yellow. I
That's it. Custom. That's custom, bro.
mean, even this
But I
cord
like
is
how
yellow.
that that honey tone, yeah, that goes all the way up to that little lamp, which she wanted to keep hell and high water. So I'm like, okay, that's what it is. So we had to raise the lamp so because it was hanging like midway to the TV. And yeah, but I like that honey tone matching the wood, man. She got a good eye for that. And the color, quite honestly, it looks pink or too orange, but it looks so much nicer in real life, which is a shame that the picture came out the way it came out. But
It
it's
only
so
looks
much
a
nicer,
bit pink on the top fabric, but
right? But
th-
it's not.
yeah, this is more orangey. Uh, yeah, almost more like sort of mandarin orange
Bonfire
color.
orange.
Yeah, and the bottom it looks sort of goldish, but kind of not because it sort of grades, right? Like there's sort of a
Hmm.
color cutoff in the middle to the
Well, it's
left.
also taken out. It's from the bottom. It's also taken the undertone of the floor, which is the same
Yeah.
color more or less. Too bad you can't see the floor, but it's the same color as the stairs.
Oh, okay, that
So
makes sense.
yeah, so everything just works together perfectly.
Yeah, it looks good.
But yeah, it's the only one so far that we've done.
It's a lot of power for a small space.
Oh fuck, man, that thing just howls in there. It was great. It was great because that is a fireplace wall next to it.
Oh, okay.
So the theater is recessed, and then on the other side, maybe I don't know, 2.5 meters away is the couch. So it's just a perfect little nook to watch TV in that little house.
Oh, it's also actually a small place.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. There's not much to it. On the other side of the fireplace, there's a little dinette thing, or like a book reading area type of thing.
Yeah.
A little dining table, and then behind is a little hallway with the toilet and the laundry, and behind that is the kitchen. That's it.
All right.
The whole house can't be more than 800 square feet.
So is it like in the
A little
mountains
bit,
or
a little
something?
less. Not really. It's in the like the Indian Reserve, I guess, Oka, but it's on the lake type of thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's just a little chalet on the lake. fucking lake was high, man. Like it was, I think about 6 meters away from her property.
Ooh, that's pretty close.
And then that's what I'm saying. She's like, "Oh, I've seen it close," and I'm like, "I'd be fucking panicking." But if you've seen it close, you've seen it close. But you know, sandbags are sandbags, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it turned out very nice. Uh, Other than that, it's a normal theater. Obviously, it's not going to sound any better. The sound isn't sweeter just because it's honeytone. But yeah, the wall mount would not make sense in there at all because it just couldn't. It couldn't go. What would have made more sense, in my opinion, is
The STB one. Yeah.
the gyroscopic STB with the VESA mount, and having that whole thing just come out and rotate eventually into the space would make way more sense.
Yeah, just pull it out manually for whenever you need it.
Yeah, but you're also going into the limitations of how much that wall can handle, because that's quite a bit of a shearing force that you have. Yes, there's studs there, but are they in the correct spaces and places that you need that to be? So
Yeah, you might as well cut the wall open, put them in, and then replaster everything. But then it's a
yeah,
3-day job.
but for that money, fuck, might as well. But no, it's just on the regular LG wall bracket that it comes with, or I guess it doesn't come with anymore because you get a table stand now with the 5565.
Oh yeah.
It's so weird. And then
LG
you have to
changes
buy
this
the
shit
bracket.
so often. It's strange.
I know it's hard to follow it. And then okay, so now there was a time where it kind of gotten into the groove of it, but when it first happened, like fuck, you know what? Let's just take an extra bracket, man. Because if we open this thing up and there's nothing there, it'd be a piss off, right?
Yeah.
Because how
You have
are
to
you going to
drive
hang
all
it
the
on the
way
wall?
back.
Fuck, right? And you lose 2 hours minimum because Montreal does nothing. Everything's close, but nothing. But really far in the same time when it comes to driving there. So yeah, better to look at it than for it, in my opinion. But yeah,
What
that's
was
it.
the delivery time for the theater if you ordered it like this? Cabiz asks.
I think she ordered it
Like 3-4 months ago.
pretty much immediately when it came out, from what I remember. Because I know Kareem was running around happy that he sold. But first he had a lady on the hook, and then she got reeled in. But yeah, she waited for a few months for that to come out. But then again, you have to also understand that this is a honey tone, which is they already had these in production because this is a default demo for the stores as well. It's the same color. So I don't think that if she had chosen like lime green or something, I'm sure that the lead time would have been longer than something that they already had in production for all the store demos.
Yeah, or if she wanted this pearl blasted or whatever.
Yeah, I think anything other than what she had ordered would have been probably even a longer lead time.
Yeah, I agree with Cabiz that this is a nicer color than the actual gold tone.
Yes.
And again,
It is nice.
the only gold tone I actually like is on the Beolab 90s. Because it's
with
so subtle
with the taupe fabric, yeah,
well, it's sand white or something, I think.
or sand white now, yeah, but it's subtle. It's not as prevalent as this.
Yeah, the gold on the 50s is awful.
Too much,
It's like, no.
too much.
I mean, on the 18s, it's sort of like, I don't like this, but you can fix it sort of with like whatever cover you choose for it.
Yeah, the tweeter is also honeytone as well. Yeah, the insert is not silver; it is matching the aluminium. I think all the honeytone, all the Atelier will have that as part of their. I guess your 40% premium. You got to get your tweeter ring the same color.
Whilst it's a cool idea, do you think they screwed themselves a bit by making this an obvious standout feature, the tweeter ring?
What makes you say that?
Well, if it was black, right, you couldn't see it, but it would be a non-part to make for like any custom color.
Yeah, if they came up with the black anthracite tweeter ring from the beginning.
Yeah, Like, or if it was just matte black, right? Like all the rest of the, like, there's no reason
Yeah,
that tweeter ring needs to be there like that.
but I think that's what accentuates it a little bit. That's what makes it interesting, in my opinion.
Oh, I agree, but it's sort of
I
like,
don't know.
I don't know, if you make a custom color, right? It's one of these last little details where, like, if it was just black, you wouldn't necessarily miss it.
Yeah, but however,
It is
it
there.
is it is there. It is there, and it's that color.
I mean, this slightly esoteric. Would you have preferred the tweeter ring like this, or the lamella slightly differently spaced so that you could plug in the microphone thing without having to take the front cover off?
You know what? I'm over that microphone nonsense because I've obviously I do it a lot, especially like installs and shit. But usually the microphone is not there. I mean, the grill's not there yet, so I don't really have an issue of taking it on and off other than the showroom. And for how much I do it in my house, which is absolutely negligible, right? I've only tuned my system twice in this apartment,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't care for it. I don't care for that hole to be plugged.
Because it's just like it's slightly behind one of these lamellas, right? And it's almost like that, because there's that little tab
I
down
know,
there that if you flip it around and have a bit more out of it's like, and it's like half a mil, you could just push it in from the front.
I know, but that's not how that is. So no, I'm honestly completely indifferent with the microphone nonsense. It bugged me in the beginning, but just over time, you know what? It's just it is what it is, and quite honestly, even uh, maybe it's for the better of it because then clients are a little less motivated to fuck with the system.
Yes, that's for sure. Yeah.
Because then okay, well, if you're gonna do that, then you have to kind of take off the, you know, and that's when the scary becomes scary, right? But yeah, I'm indifferent to it now. There was really no other way. Well, they could have, should have, would have, right? But there's no real other place to plug it in because if you put it somewhere from the side, then you're fucked. Depends on which way the wall bracket is, right? If you have a
Yes.
motorized wall bracket, you can't put it from behind because if you put it close to the wall like it is here, you're SOL.
Yeah, you would need like an inch of space anyway for that plug to go in.
You couldn't put it from the bottom because if you put it on a table stand, you're fucked.
Yeah.
And I guess, you know, if you put that where it is, then you got to take off the grill. I don't know if that's done purposely so that tuning is unobstructed from whatever finish is on over top of it placed afterwards. Which, you know, I guess with the fabric covers, you do lose a little bit of the treble, but that's so negligible that it makes no difference really.
A 6 months turnaround, 24 weeks when ordered.
Mm.
It's long, but not too long.
No.
I mean, it's also because you can go absolutely wild with colors these days.
Oh yeah, no, you can spend a lot of time picking this stuff out, and there's a lot to pick from, man. There's a lot to pick from. I still like my standard setup with the standard colors.
Same, but everything is in the standard colors. So it's like, how I can't go custom. It's just
Yeah,
gonna
no,
look
I.
weird.
That's
I,
like you have a separate, like an eccentric room that you would put it in there, but that's about it.
I was severely debating initially to getting anthracite 50s for rear 50s
Hmm.
with the normal aluminium cover, not with the anthracite cover.
Hmm.
And I mean, it just happened to run into like the standard silver ones that the price was better, and it worked out. But I was about to be like weird, right, and have two different colors in the same room.
Yeah, I know. I still the only thing that I deviated, quite honestly, is the level. I mean, the Emerge, because the Emerge is the only like black product that I own from B&O. Well, I can't say that, and the Beosound A1 that I have in piano black. But I originally was gonna order it silver, and then Aaron fucked up on the order, and they didn't have any, so they sent me brass stone. I'm like, thanks. And then I ordered the piano black. The one I really would love to have had is the New York edition Beosound one. I think that one was the most beautiful one that they ever made. But that's long gone in yesteryears. But these I like them in silver. Silver with the Mercedes grills and walnut on the back.
I clicked the wrong button. It's the long compose.
I don't know what that is.
It's the bottom where they make the base.
Oh,
The
oh
shell,
yeah, no,
right? Like they bend
no,
it.
that's that was the bottom of it. Now it's loading something. Pew. Oh, that's the customizer tool for Atelier.
Yeah, for 50s.
Oh shit.
So you can get them pearl blasted in standard natural aluminium, which is kind of interesting because then you get that Be a Remote One look.
Yeah, they would almost look like they're frosted
Yeah.
all the time. That's cool.
What was I gonna do? The black anthracite. Yeah. Skip.
Fabric crust.
One would hope so for the price.
That's it.
Okay. Pick your front cover. Yeah, okay.
Well, you gotta wait for the nonsense to scroll through because it's loading, I guess.
Yeah. And let's go aluminium. So you have the natural aluminium, right? But you also have the black anthracite aluminium, which gives it quite a different look.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Go to
somehow,
zesty orange. Fuck.
somehow it also makes this edge seem like
Stick out more.
wider. Yeah, you can go
It's just optical illusion, I think.
gold. No, I've seen it in real life.
Okay.
In the London store, they had these anthracite with the black anthracite fronts, and I walked by it, and it's like that looks familiar, but kind of like
Different.
yeah, because you saw through it a lot more.
Put some crazy ass color, bro. Go to zesty orange. Ooh. They're not as pronounced on the front.
Radiant red.
They
Go
kind of
sort
look
of
like purpley,
Ferrari.
yeah. Yeah. Whatever they do with the new B&O remote control, they better not make it so you can't scratch your back with it.
Let's go radiant red. Yeah.
That is interesting. Oh Christ! I gotta go look at. They're gonna go source the wood. We're sourcing the wood. God, it's okay. There we go.
You
So
know
you
what's
can do what?
strange? Like in the shop with your dealer, right? You can order these covers for the sides too if you wanted to.
Hmm.
Like you can have the aluminium because they fit everywhere, right? Like it's the same pin pattern to push them in. So like this
Yes.
aluminium cover fits on the side, no problem. So if you wanted to like be even more custom and have like a full on aluminium deal, you can. It'll be expensive, don't get me wrong, but you can.
Isn't one of those grills hiding a big fat sticker with the serial numbers and all that shit that you'd have to either stick over or do something with? No?
No. The sticker's in the cubby.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Black painted.
What is this? Black painted oak. Nah, not a fan. Go to the red again. See if that red is it there? I don't think it is even there.
Dark oak, teak, maple, ash, white painted oak. That's too much.
No,
Green,
that's
brown birch. No, there's no red in the wood section. There is in the fabric. It looks kind of nice with the fabric, actually, with the...
Hmm.
Black
Black
fabric.
signature. That's their typical black.
Looks sort of Ferrari-esque at this point.
Hmm.
Except for
And the wings and the lens are black too.
Yeah.
That's cool. Very nice.
I'd probably go with the charcoal stained oak. Murder it out a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Skip.
Submit your order.
Yeah, they won't tell you what it costs though.
No, because fucking just close the website. Yeah, that's cool that you can do that. And now you know what that should be. That should be allowing you to on your account to save it as a design ID, and then you should be able to load that into the fucking app, so you have that exact speaker set.
One would think so.
Because why does it only work on the shape? The design ID will actually load up your entire shape down to the fabric tiles colors properly, if you bother to do them properly.
Yeah.
So I don't understand where's the disconnect. Like, why can't you not have that also with the level, right? Like, they have a walnut cover for level that you can order. Why isn't that included? They added the new Atelier level in there, the teal one with that crazy fabric.
Mm-hmm.
That's been added in the app. But I still have no icons for all my speakers in the theater when you go assign roles. That doesn't exist.
I do have that.
Get the fuck out! Really?
Yeah, but I don't have any of the theater colors available. So, like, I have the opposite.
Is that the compromise, I guess? Because if I let's go kitchen per se.
There's something wrong with the app and image retrieval and how it interacts with like your account or something.
But I don't have these.
Yeah, I know. I have those. All of those.
You have those?
Yeah.
That's some bullshit.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what to make of it either. It's kind of silly, but
fuck.
I mean, it is what it is, I guess.
Speaking of removing grill, I think I'm gonna have to retune my speakers because I did.
Is it not touching the wall, or is it just really close?
What, the TV?
Yeah, the bottom corner.
Oh no, it's got like another this much.
Okay.
Look. Oh yeah, no. There's enough. There's enough room here. It looks close, but it's not. I wanted to check the software on the bloody receivers, and apparently they have stayed in my system now. So I have the subwoofer and 2 lap 4s in the theater included now. God, this man. And they're not here, right? Like, they're not showing on the. Fuck. I don't get why that stays. I don't get why that stays.
I know, just buy some 8s and get some Tigrino covers on them. They're lovely.
And where the fuck am I gonna put them, dude? I'm actually thinking of taking these pictures down and maybe putting the shape up on the wall. Because Why not? And I was thinking of making them height channels. I'm gonna like. I was thinking of unpacking it, laying it all out here, make a shape, quote unquote.
It's just a single line of shape things from left to right.
Oh, dude, that'd be a lot. 12 tiles. That's too fucking wide. That would go across like
Yeah,
a
but go
bandana.
across the other wall over there.
No, I would just do a 12 tile shape of some sort of like a cloud look, whatever, and do that plywood backing, and then put a LED strip around the edge of it. I think that would look sexy as hell. And
Yeah, you just need to figure out if it's 16 on center or 24 on center. And then you can
here
do
it's 16.
four screws, right? And you're done.
Well, yeah, you still have to punch a hole into the freaking wall to get the power up there.
Yeah, but if you go from not from the plugs either way, like that's what, that much? It's like one figure eight.
Yeah, it's fuck all of that. I
It's like
can
an 8
probably
mil hole or something.
I could fish it with an with a half inch drill bit hole
Yeah.
to drop the wire down and get it. It's gonna be a biatch, but it's doable.
I mean, is the wall empty?
Oh, of course.
Because most of my interior walls are filled, which makes it
Oh,
even worse for fishing.
not in apartments. Well, you know what? It sucks a bit, but it's not impossible. First of all, right? It's just.
Do you have one of these wire pulling tools that you can clip on the end of a wire and then you just with a magnet pull it down?
I never use those. More or less because the magnets and stuff that travels on the wall, you always get it sucked on and it marks the wall and shit on the surface.
Mm-hmm.
And here it's not possible in older homes because if you have the lattice, there's no fucking way that the magnet will skip over those, uh, the chubs of mud that come between the lattice when it's squished through.
Yeah.
So I just use fish.
But like for new builds like yours, it would be very easy.
Yeah, I have that on my fish tape I got the fish rods from Milwaukee, but that thing broke off, so I don't use it. But yeah, normally I don't have a problem with fishing stuff around here. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. So the only problem is that if I really want to get into the back of the Avant, and that wall is not going to be easy to get into. But because the studs are metal, they have those restructuring holes in them, right? So you could still fish through. It's a pain in the ass, but it's doable. Do I want to spend that time on it though? That's a question. And it would be nice though to hardwire the TV. But at that point, I would probably take and drop that cable into my storage room, put a switch there, and then feed the two network cables into the TV, one for Apple TV and one for the actual Avant.
Yes.
Because I find that sometimes the Avant comes off the network and I don't understand why, but it loses connection. So my gateway is not controllable, right? With the lights, and the radio doesn't work, and so on and so forth. So that's why I would, if you can hardwire at all times, that's the moral of the story for the podcast number 345.
Thanks everybody for watching. Thank you with sticking us with new software and things, and I'm glad it went relatively well. I just have to figure out why my mic is being dynamic when I don't want it to be.
That's for us to play with after we're off air.
Yeah, stupid Microsoft on its side decides, no, you can't be loud.
Bill Gates ain't through with you.
Yeah. Anyway, hope you all have a good week. I will see you next week. Thereafter, I'm not 100% sure what happens.
Okay.
But we'll let you know, like I have to move people or person. So anyway, have a good time and see you all soon.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.